Good evening, Mustang Nation. Welcome to tonight's broadcast. The Mustangs are taking on the Valley City Highliners this evening. It is a two-point matchup between these two teams, so it's worth 2 points in the standings. Big game. The Mustangs come into this one 9-7 in the conference, 17-9 overall. The Valley City Highliners come into this one 5-11 in conference play and 10-15 overall. I'm Jackson Miller. Alongside joining me this time around is Dustin Salmon.
Hello.
He was on the mic once this year in a soccer game with Reese Breidenbach earlier this fall. So, Mr. Salmon, thank you for joining me tonight. It's a pleasure to have you up here.
Of course, happy to be here.
He's filling in Wolf's spot this evening. Wolf's not able to make it.
Those parent-teacher conferences.
Yeah, he's got parent-teacher conferences going on right now. So we got a matchup for the Mustangs tonight against the Highliners. You know, the Highliners a smaller team in terms of class size.
Yep.
Actually, this year, though, on paper, they're actually better than they have been in recent years. I mean, they're just a little below 500 right now. So this is definitely a game I think the Mustangs cannot take lightly. I don't think you can take anyone lightly in any sport. So
it definitely feels like one of those games where a stronger team, they got to make sure that they're on their game and they don't let up because they think that they're going to be able to pull one off. You don't want to let that other team sneak up on you,
The matchup is worth 2 points. So this game is going to be a big boost for the Mustangs if they can get a win tonight, as they are sitting out just outside the top 5 at 6th in the EDC right now. We're going to send it down to the PA. Mr. Holland's on the PA mic here at the game, so we're going to get the starting lineups and the national anthem out of the way and then return back for some more information on tonight's matchup between the Highliners and the Mustangs. So the Mustangs trying to bounce back from a loss against Fargo Davies on Tuesday. They got swept by the Eagles. The scores were 25-12, 25-19, 25-23. They almost came back in that third set to force a fourth set. The Highlanders are coming in this one riding a 3-game winning streak right now. So, you know, they're a team that's kind of hot right now. And the Mustangs can't take this Highlanders team lightly. They got to come in here and take care of business. The Mustangs went 3-3 at the Fargo Invite. And a look at the conference standings. Fargo North still riding that #1 spot. Then it's Red River, Fargo Davies, Shanley, and then West Fargo High, and then Cheyenne just outside the top 5 at the #6 spot. Horace right behind Cheyenne in the #7 spot. Then it's Fargo South, Valley City, Grand Forks Central, Devils Lake, and Wapaton.
Looks like we got another big game going on today between Davies and Red River there. Davies hosting Red River. 2 and 3 seeds within a half a point back of each other. It's going to be an important one, not to mention West Fargo and Davies on Saturday.
We're reaching the crunch time in the regular season. The postseason's right around the corner, so this is definitely a time where you want to be peaking.
Cheyenne definitely has a lot of skill between Peyton and Alexa. Watching those two line up against some of these schools is pretty impressive to watch.
Yeah, Kaloran and Saxon have been pretty good at the outside hitter spot, especially Saxon. You know, she's got a bright future. We got her for another 3 years after this year, so that's gonna be exciting.
It's incredible.
Yeah, Cheyenne is a young team this year. They're not as senior heavy as they were last year, as that state championship squad from last year was. Only 3 seniors this year.
Big shoes to fill.
They will have a pretty decent sized senior squad next year. They got a lot of juniors and sophomores.
It'd be nice if they can make a little bit of noise this year, give themselves some confidence going into next year after they've been playing together for a bit.
Yeah, that's the thing. The chemistry has been. I think this Mustang team has not been as sharp as they were last year. There's been a lot of unforced errors. I think that's what Cheyenne has struggled with this year. It's 3-1 right now. The Mustangs off to an early lead here in the first set. But yeah, this team, you know, they were off to a 7-0 start at the Bismarck crossover. They went out west and they won all 7 of their games, and now they're just a little over 500 overall, 10-9 since those 7 consecutive wins to start off the season. They've been a little inconsistent this year, but they've shown in most of their games that they're a team that, you know, the Mustangs are still a great team, and they're going to be competitive upcoming here in the postseason. It's been one of those years again in the EDC where any team has really a chance to make a run.
Well, when you look at those standings and you look at, let's see, 1 through 5 are all within 3 games of each other, 3.5 games of each other. I mean, with a lot of 2-point games, it looks like coming up. I mean, that could flip-flop.
It's going to be huge, yeah.
That could flip-flop real fast.
Engel serving now. The Mustangs off to a 5-1 lead here over the Highliners in the first set. That's blocked at the net. Metcalf gets the kill. Six to 3, the Highliners get a couple back. A lot of serving errors to start off the game. 7 to 3 now.
A little bit of a slow start.
too strong. If you take a look at the recent Class A volleyball poll that came out on Tuesday, Fargo North still in the #1 spot, Jamestown at the #2 spot, Davies #3, Bismarck Century #4, and then Grand Forks Red River #5. And the Mustangs also receiving votes along with Shanley and Bismarck High. Lauren gets the kill. Sets it Kaloran. Another kill. That's going to be an ace.
There we go. It's got to be intimidating to be another one of these other teams, seeing Kaloran or Saxland coming up there and winding up, getting ready to hit it your way.
Yeah, the thing with the Mustangs is that, especially the last couple of years, is they've had great size at the net. This year you got Albrecht, Metcalf, and Blado in the middle there. And then last year they had Albrecht and they had Chloe Brown and they had Terhark and they had Wasdorp and they had Bogenreef. They had all those girls. I mean, the Mustangs have always been the last couple of years have been pretty strong at the outside hitter spot because Wasdorp and Bogenreef are all state outside hitters. And then they've also been they had great size at the net. It's contributed to their success in recent years. Ooh, great fake there.
Great fake. It's a great placement. I think that's one of my favorite hits to watch. Everybody going up, ready for the set. Catch them off guard with a little drooper over the net.
Great dig there. Mustangs keep it alive. They get it over. Blocked at the net by Blado and Kaloran. Langlis and Boudreau coming in.
Nice save there.
Deflected at the net once again. Kaloran.
Too much power.
Yep. Just a little too strong. Tried to paint the white line. And an ace for the Highliners.
Oh,
good touch.
Absolutely perfect touch right over that front line. That was great. Great job seeing an opening there, reacting to it.
Ooh, Saxon showing her power, but the Highliners are able to return it. Blado's hit his block. She hits it backwards. Kaloran sets to Saxlin. A little behind her, and the Highliners win the battle.
That's a big point for the Highlighters. I don't think there's a lot of teams that can say that they took 2 of Saxlin's hits right to the front row there and survived, and not only survived but got the point.
And Saxlin gets a kill right back.
Not going to let it happen a third time.
Blado serving now. Too strong. Mustangs get the point, 15-7. A reminder for those that don't know, the second and third round matches will take place at Fargo Davies this year for the EDC tournament. A lot of teams trying to fight for those 1, 2, 3, and 4 spots that get an automatic bye into the quarterfinal round. The seeds 5 through 12 play play-in games. So being in the top 4 in the conference is absolutely crucial down the stretch as we get with the postseason's right around the corner. Langwis with a nice kill there on the right side.
Got to assume that 4th spot is what Cheyenne's pushing for.
Yep.
Doing whatever they can to catch those teams a couple games behind and try to get that last spot for that bye.
So yeah, as you take a look at the upcoming schedule here for Cheyenne, yeah, they need to go on a big winning streak here if they're going to have any chance at getting into that number 4 spot. You know, starting off with a win tonight here against Valley City and a 2-point matchup will be huge. But they also got Red River coming up on the road next Tuesday, and then Devils Lake, Wabaton, and then they end the season here at home against West Fargo. So the season finale against your crosstown rival is going to be absolutely huge going into the postseason. Those play-in matches will take place Saturday, November 4th, and then the quarterfinal round takes place on Tuesday, November 7th, and then Friday, November 10th, and Saturday, November 11th are the second and third round matches of the EDC tournament that are taking place at Fargo Davies, and then after that, it's the state tournament.
Man, final home game against crosstown rivals, that's great. I hope the student bodies show up for that. That could be a great atmosphere.
And what's nice this year is the state tournament is also here in Fargo at the Fargo Dome this year. It's not out in Bismarck this year. So the teams on the east side of the state will have an advantage in terms of crowd.
Absolutely.
A lot of home attendance. And Albrecht gets the kill. 19-9.
Highliners aren't going away, though. For a while there, I thought it was going to be over pretty quick, and they're battling. I love to see it. I love to see the fight in them.
Clorn rises up and gets the kill on the outside once again. It's going to be into the net. Highliners get another point, 20-11. Ooh, Caloran's hit is blocked, but that is too strong.
Block sent it
Just
up
a
into
rocket,
the rack.
rocket coming off of the Highliners.
Really was.
Great dig from Angle. Caloran's hit is blocked. 21-13. Highliners hanging around.
Doesn't seem to be bothering her, but Caloran's upper right leg is pretty well taped up. I wonder what happened there.
There's a right side kill from Metcalf. Mustangs 3 points away from taking set number 1. Another block at the net. This one goes to Caloran. Too strong. Got a little behind her.
She had made contact maybe a split second earlier. I think we would have seen a different outcome there.
I think hopefully the Mustangs can get the next 2 points here. One thing that the Mustangs that I've noticed from them this season, they've tend to lack in closing out sets pretty strong. You know, they let the team hang around for a few more points. Hopefully they can turn that around here as we approach tournament time, because you can't get a lot of teams open doors. They're gonna come right in and shut the door on you.
I think it's easy to get complacent if you have that big of a lead. You're not really worried about it. You know, you only need 2 more. You let off the gas a little bit, and before you know it, you're fighting for that win. They're only 3-4 behind you.
We saw it in that Horace game. That was a crazy second
Yes.
set. I mean, the Mustangs were up 24-19, and the Horace came back, and they went back and forth, and Horace eventually pulled out set number 2, 30-28.
And you're right. Cheyenne had multiple opportunities to win that set and just couldn't get that final point.
Cheyenne did pull off the victory, though. They won the next 2. And they were actually down 7-0 at the beginning of that third set, and they battled through that adversary, and they eventually won. Mustangs set point here, 24-16. Langless his, blocked, and it's in. The Highliners just trying to inch their way back. And an ace there for the Highliners.
Just like you're saying, creeping back 1 point at a time. Only down 6.
And there it is.
There we go.
Great touch there. And the Mustangs take set number 1, 25-18. So not the strongest finish there after set number 1, Salmon, but they did get the W here in set 1, so that's a start. Hopefully set 2 they can be a lot more sharper.
You're right, and you know, a team that's a little bit lower in the standings, you might be able to get away with that from time to time, but if they're going to want to compete against those top 4 teams, you really can't let off at any point. You know, if you get a lead on them, these strong teams are going to fight so much harder. They're going to have so much more ability to come back quicker. And I think it's important that they start putting these away as early as possible.
Absolutely.
Give themselves some confidence.
Yep. Being sharp and confidence is key here, especially down the stretch in the regular season. The Mustangs take set number 1, 25-18. We'll step away for a short commercial break. And be right back for set number 2.
Here, when your future lies ahead, we help set you on the right course. When your whole world is about to change, we help you prepare for your new life. When staying healthy means staying informed, we help you find answers. This is perseverance, understanding, connection. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
Set number 2 set to get underway here in less than a minute and a half. You take a look at some of the games going on around in the EDC tonight. Devils Lake is taking on West Fargo High at West Fargo, just north of I-94 here. That's a 2-point matchup. All the matchups tonight actually in the EDC are 2 points. Red River taking on Davies tonight at Davies. Fargo South is at Wapaton. West Fargo Horace is at Fargo North, and then Grand Forks Central is at Shanley. And then on Saturday, Davies is taking on West Fargo at West Fargo, and then Devils Lake is traveling down to Wapaton to take on the Huskies in a 2-point matchup. The Cheyenne football teams also, it's their home regular season finale. They got their last home game of the season tomorrow against the Bismarck High Demons. That's going to be a big game. The Demons have a pretty good squad this year. The Mustangs trying to finish off strong here at home. Then they got one more game. They're taking on the Mandan Braves out at Mandan for the regular season finale.
What a great boost that would be if they could beat Bismarck at home.
They've bounced back pretty well after that loss against Shanley.
Shanley's just
yeah, Shanley's just been a powerhouse this year.
I was just going to say the same thing, an absolute powerhouse.
They're the defending state champs. I mean, Shanley's offense is through the roof this year. I mean, it is incredible. I mean, they're averaging probably almost close to 40 points per game.
It'd be a lot more fun to watch if it wasn't for an opposing team.
Yeah, they're gonna be tough to beat.
They really are.
It's gonna take a lot to stop them. They're definitely the favorite this year.
If you're gonna beat them, you're gonna have to play a perfect game, and you're gonna have to hope for a couple breaks from them.
Yeah. Defensively, you're gonna have to play perfect.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, in a couple of games this year, they've been over 50 points before the half against some teams this year. I mean, it's just crazy what their offense is doing. And then, I mean, they beat us 42-14.
And if I remember correctly, a lot of that came in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
So I mean,
the Mustangs were hanging around in that game.
They really were, and hopefully, you know, if the time comes and we'll say when the time comes and they play each other again, they can remember that. You know, they can remember that. Hey, for 3 quarters, we were right in it with these guys.
Well, it was crazy, too, the fact that the Mustangs are still in that game and all the turnovers they had in the first quarter alone.
Yep.
If the Mustangs can hold on to that number 2 seed in the polls, Shanley and Cheyenne will be the 1 and 2 seeds, and they'll maintain home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
And then anything can happen.
Yep, anything can happen, though. You got to bring it, because we saw last year the Mustangs were the 1 seed going into the playoffs. They were trying to repeat as state champs, trying to make a run, and Bismarck Century came in and they just flat out outplayed us.
And maybe that's something they can keep in mind, learn from that. Remember that just because you're the 1 seed doesn't mean you're unstoppable. Great shot there.
Elbrecht gets the kill, 4-1.
You were saying earlier about a few more kind of sloppy mistakes that Cheyenne makes from time to time here, but man, if they can clean those up, they have some serious power on this team.
Oh, they do. I mean, they've demonstrated that all season.
Yeah.
They're a team that's, you know, not to mess with and taken lightly. The Mustangs are, I mean, this squad is good.
Absolutely.
It's just there's been a little bit
maybe lack of experience or playing time. Yep.
I mean, yeah, it's hard. they're bouncing back from losing a lot of seniors from last year's. I mean, 8 seniors you had last year that graduated. I mean, that's tough to replace.
Wild.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of the basketball, Cheyenne's boys basketball team last year as well. Lots of upperclassmen leaving and a lot of younger classmen having to fill into roles that they're not used to and grow into them, and all kind of part of the process.
Yeah, experience goes a long way in sports.
Absolutely, especially in high school, and you know, someone can grow 4 inches between seasons and can change so much.
Seven to 2 now, the Mustangs lead. Albrecht serving. Blocked at the net again.
Beautiful block.
That was Blado and Kaloran.
And here the Mustangs go again, up 7 early. Boy, Borg for Valley City there got some serious height on that.
And an ace for the Highliners. It's been another thing that the Mustangs have been kind of their downfalls. A lot of aces have been scored on them. Good recognition. Just a little too strong, 10 to 4.
A little bit of a misstep there.
Amundsen serving now for Cheyenne. Nice little run under her, 12 to 4. Last 3 have gone to Cheyenne. That was just set up perfectly.
It was a great save by Kill there, and then almost too great.
Yeah, that dig just went right.
Set it perfectly
just right to her.
for Valley City.
Oh, what a save from Saxland. Great effort, but
Wow.
man. Almost pulled that off.
It's hard to believe that she's a freshman sometimes when the way you watch her play.
tremendous athleticism.
I asked her in class who's she so mad at. Why is she able to spike the ball so hard, hit the ball so hard? She's like, I just picture myself mad at everybody. Everybody that's between the ball and me.
So that shows that Saxon really has a good mindset. You know, it's, you can't be nice to your enemy when you're on the court.
No, you'd never know it if you met her in class, but once she gets on the court, different ball game.
It's a war out there.
Absolutely.
You're trying to go out and get a W. Every game matters.
Boy, that worked out.
Actually, they're going to give that to the Highliners as a lift.
Oh.
Called on Albrecht. Highliners creeping their way back. It's 14-9.
Just like what we were saying at the beginning of this one, come out to a big lead and then let them slowly crawl back. I believe it was Metcalf that had the point of the series when we played against Horace. If I remember correctly, it used her head to score a point.
Whatever you can do to get a point.
Absolutely. Hey, a point's a point. A point's a point. I think that's what she was saying to her teammates. Listen, point's a point.
One of those lucky breaks.
Absolutely. Take what you can get.
Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good.
Exactly.
Whew.
Monster. That
Good
was
block, but it was just hit. Albrecht just hit that too strong for the Highliners to handle there.
Monster hit.
Albrecht having a really good senior season. One of the 3 seniors on this Mustang squad this year.
Well, I'm sure she's really valuable in the locker room before the game, during practices, being able to bring that experience to these younger players.
Oh, absolutely, she's
been to the top. She knows what it's like. She knows what it takes.
set to Kaloran. She gets the kill.
Great job. Great job there. They needed that point.
Absolutely. I mean, the Highlanders they're not going away here at
No.
set number 2. It's 18-14 right now. Mustangs have got to be careful here.
This is where they need to start to put them away if they want to. Oh, great job there.
Safe to say, I think Kaloran definitely leads the team in kills this evening.
I would agree. Bandaged up leg or not, doesn't seem to be bothering her one bit. So far, not much of an answer from Valley City for Kaloran on those.
Langless gets the kill on the outside.
Perfect placement. Saw the opening. Hit it perfectly.
Highlanders keep it alive. It's going to be a net violation.
So what's the call there if it hits something up in the ceiling like that? They just have to play it, right? It's still live?
Well, if it hits the ceiling on your own side, like let's say if it's your own team and you hit one up in the ceiling, I believe you can play it if it's on your own side, but if you cause it to hit the ceiling on their side,
Okay.
it's not a point. Or like the curtain here that
The divider.
that's right over the net here. If you hit that point goes to the other team, I'm sure.
Yeah. Seemed to be the case there.
Ooh,
Close.
really close.
That might have been one of our longest volleys of the night. There hasn't been a lot of long
Yeah,
volleys.
this game's going by pretty quick. It just
Yeah.
started less than an hour ago, so I mean, yeah.
Not
A lot of quick points that we've seen this evening. There's an ace for the Highliners. They're hanging around here again, late in the set, 23-19. paints the right corner. 23-20. Saxon's hit is blocked, and the Highliners are within 2.
These Highliners are a feisty group.
To Saxland. That hits the pole for the antenna. Set point here for the Mustangs, trying to take set number 2. Gill serving. Set to Albrecht. Kept alive by the Highliners, and they get the point, 24-22. And Albrecht finishes off set number 2 with a kill. 25-22, the final score. The Mustangs take sets 1 and 2. They're trying to complete the sweep here in the next set. But man, though, these Highliners, a better team that we've seen from them in recent memory. I mean, like I said earlier in our pregame, 10 and 15. That's definitely a record that we haven't seen from them in a while. And you know, they're coming to play right now. I mean, they may have lost the last 2 sets, but boy, those were 2 close sets there. A lot of quick points there, and the Highliners, they've actually been playing pretty well this evening.
Well, and taking a look, they only have 3 seniors on their team, so the idea that they're playing as well as they have this year, they're going to lose 3 players, so most of them are going to be coming back.
And they're a smaller school.
They're a smaller school. Looks like they have quite a few juniors on it. I mean, they could be interesting for a couple years. It's been fun watching them battle. I think sometimes you get a smaller school against a bigger school, and I don't know if it's an intimidation factor or what it is, but I don't feel that at all with Valley City tonight.
We'll see what happens at set number 3. See if the Mustangs can pull off the sweep or if the Highlanders can stick around for one more set. Mustangs take set number 2, 25-22. We'll step away and be right back for set number 3.
Here, when our path takes an unexpected turn, we keep moving forward. When life sends us a message, we listen. When you're determined to beat the odds, we help you plan for what's next. This is commitment, resourcefulness, determination. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
There is no off-season for greatness. You do what it takes to stay in the game. And so do we. Our commitment is to keep you moving forward. Essentia Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. Like nowhere else.
We're back for set number 3. The Mustangs trying to complete the sweep. They've taken sets number 1 and number 2. Amundsen getting things underway for set number 3. Highliners trying to stick around and force a set number 4. They're definitely capable of forcing a 4 set. They've hung around in the first 2 sets.
Well, and I think both teams have something to shoot for here. Like you said, Valley City shooting for that 4th set should give them a lot of confidence going up against a team like Sheyenne and pushing it to 4. And I think Sheyenne wants to walk away with this feeling confident and putting them away pretty quickly, just to give them some confidence going into the next couple matches.
Take a look at the standings going on out west in the Western Dakota Association. For once, Bismarck Century is not first in their conference. That's something you don't see very often. Jamestown holding the number 1 spot, 12-1 in conference play, 21-5 overall, and then Bismarck Century riding the number 2 spot, 13-2 in the conference, 22-4 overall. And then it's Bismarck in the number 3 and Bismarck Legacy in the number 4 spot, and then Dickinson in the number 5 spot. Then it's Minot, Williston, Wofford City, Bismarck St. Mary's, Mandan, and then Turtle Mountain. Bismarck Century has been an absolute dynasty the past decade here in North Dakota Class A volleyball. They've been to the state championship 12 years in a row.
That's an absolutely wild stat.
Yeah,
12 years in a row.
Every year they've taken every year since 2011, they've either taken 1st or 2nd.
That's amazing. When you consider the amount of turnover you're going through in high school year after year, to be able to, I mean, you're talking girls that were, you're talking girls that were 3 or 4 years old when they started that, getting on the team and continuing that. That's amazing.
And the Mustangs, though, they were on the winning side last year.
Absolutely.
They were able to get sent. That was probably the best volleyball game I have ever watched. I traveled out there to the Bismarck Event Center to watch that game in the student section. And boy, I mean, we had the Mustang fans. They had the equivalent of the skull chant going. It was crazy. It was absolutely packed. The game actually started 2 hours late too, so it's because all the Class B games and the Class A, I believe, I think it was the 3rd place Class A game went on longer than scheduled. So the state championship for Class A didn't start till 10 o'clock, and it was supposed to start at 8, and the game went past midnight.
I was going to say, I believe there was some stat saying they were the only team to start a game one day and finish the game the next day.
Yep. Yeah, and they alternated. It went to 5 sets, and they alternated. The Mustangs won the 1st, the Century won the 2nd, the Mustangs won the 3rd, and then Century forced the 5th set, and the Mustangs were able to win it all in set number 5 for their first ever state championship. That was also their first time being in the state championship, so they're 1 for 1 in state title games.
Not bad. Not bad.
You know, it was crazy because the Mustangs finally got over that hump. You know, in past years before that, they actually got to the semifinal back in 2019, and they fell short. So it was nice to finally see them, you know, get past the first 2 rounds and a chance to play for a state title.
Especially when you have a squad of, 8 seniors. I mean, that's awesome for them to get to go out that way.
I mean, they just completed, like, the sweep in terms of championships. I mean, they won the regular season title because they had the best record after the regular season. Then they won the EDC conference tournament, so now you have a conference tournament title. And then they cap it off with the state title, and they were 35-2.
Incredible.
That was their final overall record.
Yeah, as someone whose first year at Sheyenne was last year, and I worked a lot of the volleyball games, I got to say I was definitely spoiled getting to watch them all those nights. It's like, is this how the games usually go? Is this how it usually is? I'm like, well, this team's a little special.
Langless gets the kill, 8-4. back and forth here in set number 3, 8-6.
Highliners definitely learning from the first 2 sets where they got down by quite a bit early. This time they're not letting them pull away.
Oh, right to Plato. Oh my goodness. Just sets it up perfectly, 10-6.
She was asking her to hit that one.
Blado gets the kill, 11-7.
Kill with back-to-back aces. Fantastic. Placing those perfectly. Boy, that was close to 3 aces in a row.
Saxon gets the kill, 13-8.
Little miscommunication there by the Highliners.
Boy, looking at the standings, though, Fargo North is having a season for the ages right now. I mean, 24-3 on the season overall, and they're definitely the team to beat here in the East.
Yeah, North seems to be strong in a few sports this year.
You know, their boys basketball team won the state championship last year, so they're
for the size. When you think of the size of the student body, they definitely and that basketball team is terrifying.
you got Jeremiah Sam, Matthew Sam, you got
Oh.
Carter Zeller. I mean and they got a great coach, Travis Hogue.
Those Sem brothers they're something to watch.
You know, growing up, I've actually played with some of those guys and against them a lot, you know, in basketball and travel basketball. And, boy, I'm like, once we get to the high school level, I mean, our class is pretty stacked across the board in the East. And I wouldn't be surprised if Fargo North wins a state championship.
Playing against them probably wasn't a whole lot of fun.
It's not fun guarding them. It's fun playing against them because it's competition, but
sure.
It's unguardable. Yeah, their football team is doing tremendously well down in the AA class for ever since they they switched the classes up, and some of those formerly Class 3A East teams dropped down to 2A.
South is down there as well, if I remember correctly.
Yep, a lot of teams from the East dropped down to 2A, and Fargo North is excelling very well in football. There's a lot of changes in terms of the classes. The basketball's going to a 3-class system this year.
Yep.
That's going to go into effect for volleyball as well.
And what year are those going into effect?
I think next year, I believe.
It is next year? Okay. Yeah, it should be interesting to see how that plays out. Hopefully it ends up leading to a little bit better competition for everybody.
Good touch by Kaloran.
There's so much change from year to year. I was at South 20 years ago, and we dressed 115 guys for football.
Really? Yeah. I mean, South was pretty good there back in.
Just a few more people, you know, just a little bit, double the size of the school, and a lot less high schools back then.
Well, yeah, a lot of those Fargo schools were a lot bigger back then. But you know, West Fargo is one of the state's fastest growing cities. So
it is.
I mean, we've gone to 3 high schools, and we added on 2 high schools in, you know, just a little over around a decade.
Yep. It's incredible how much it's changed. I know people that left 10 years ago and came back, and they don't even recognize the city has changed so much.
Well, it's amazing. All the south side of town, I mean, 10 years ago was just land.
It is. It's nuts. It's not going to be long before places like Castleton are basically suburbs of. It's kind of wild to see.
You know, and Cheyenne's now the largest school in the state by population.
Yep.
Minot's going to 2 schools. They're building another high school up there.
Kind of the last one to make that split. You know, first Fargo, then you had West Fargo, then Bismarck finally did that. Now Minot's moving there. It definitely will changes the landscape of a lot of things, especially with sports.
And their originals, and their original high school that's already there was split into 2 campuses. So Sheyenne actually became the largest single campus school in the state. Minot had more students, but it was 2 campuses.
Sure. You can definitely tell when you're walking the halls in between classes.
Mustangs win the rally 18-12 is now the score. 7 points away from getting the sweep here over the Highliners.
Great block there by the Highliners. Monster hit. So this is where I think we need to see a little bit of tenacity out of Sheyenne. 6 points to go, 6-point lead.
I agree, yeah. Don't let the Highlanders score more than 2 points from here on out.
No.
Would be huge. Serving error from Kill. Just out. That was really close from Saxlin. 20-17.
Highlanders not going away.
Just like sets 1 and 2. Mustangs have the upper hand, but it's close. Oh, they're calling it a tip. The ref says that the ref said that the Mustangs tipped it, so it's 20-18.
We got ourselves a set here.
It's going to be tight down the stretch here, and there's an ace for the Highliners. It's 20-19.
Boy, ties it
The
up.
Highliners have tied it up here at 20 apiece, and
timeout.
Head coach Leah Nguyen's going to take a timeout to get our girls reset here. The Highliners making a run here, 20-20, and this is what we've been talking about this all season. Me and Wolf have been on the mic.
Yep.
This is just something it's just been a regular occurrence. The Mustangs have been up late in sets, and they just can't seem to like close out strong. It seems like there's always a lot of unforced errors that occur late in the set.
Yeah, it's like they're overthinking their game. When the game's starting, they're playing fine, they're doing what they're supposed to do, and then they start getting closer. They start thinking about it maybe a little too much, trying to get a little too pretty with their shot placements. And you got to just stick with what you're good at. Don't worry about the score so much. Just keep playing your game. And now it can really go either direction here. Momentum's mostly with Valley City.
And there's another ace, and the Highliners have the lead. Another ace.
Couple unforced errors here.
Oh my goodness. That one's wide left.
At this point, Cheyenne's got to take the points however they can.
Great block. And the Highlanders 2 points away from taking set number 3 and avoiding the sweep.
Highlanders definitely seem a little more calm, a little more collected right now.
Oh, great effort, but just goes outside, and it's 23-22. The Mustangs need these next few points. There's an ace for Saxlin, and the Mustangs tie it up at 23.
Big ace there.
That was huge. And Valley City's going to take a timeout. Boy, what a tight third set this has been. Highlanders trying to avoid the sweep, and the Mustangs trying to complete it.
Got to give the Highlanders a lot of credit. Been very impressed
yeah,
by them
they came
tonight.
to play. We said in the beginning of the broadcast, you can't take this Highliner team lightly. Every game you got to take seriously. You got to be sharp. You got to come ready to go, especially in these 2-point matches. These are huge. Kaloran gets the kill for the Mustangs, and they get the lead 24-23.
Match point.
Yeah, now it's match point. Highlanders now have their backs against the walls once again. Saxon trying to end it. Highlanders stay alive. 24 apiece, so now it's win by 2.
Wonder if we're going to have a repeat of that second set against
Oh,
Horace.
boy. That would make things interesting. Hill passes to Kaloran. It just paints the right line, and the Mustangs get the point.
Perfect touch on that.
And that's out, 25 apiece.
Highlanders refusing to go away here.
Florence hit is blocked, and the Highliners have the lead again. 26-25 is now set point for the Highliners. And head coach Leah Nguyen's going to take a timeout. Man, this Highliner team sure is putting up a fight here in set number 3, trying to just hold on.
They got to be pretty motivated. Like you said, 2-point game against Cheyenne. Yes, Cheyenne lost a lot of players, but they're still the defending champs. To travel here and play this way against them is very fun to watch.
And, you know, if you're Cheyenne, the longer you let these teams that are considered the underdog hang around, the more belief that team builds within all of them. And, I mean, you see it all the time in sports. The longer you let a team hang around, they're just going to start to believe more and more and more that they can win.
Well, you don't see yourself as an underdog anymore. You start going, wait a second, we can compete against these guys.
Just when the Highlanders have their backs against the walls, the Mustangs have their backs against the walls once again, but Kaloran ties it up at 26.
Definitely seems to be a theme. Need to stop the set point, give it to Kaloran.
Badeau serving. And that's out. Oh, lucky break.
Misplay.
Wow, yeah, that works out for Langless. Kaloran serving 27-27. Too strong, and the Mustangs have the upper hand again. Match point once again. Ooh.
It's close.
And there it is. The Mustangs survive, and they hold on, and they sweep the Highliners. That was a super long third set. Goes to 56 total points. The Mustangs win the third set, 29-27, and they complete the sweep and get 2 points. So they'll improve to 18-9 overall and 11-7 in conference play. That was a huge, well played by the Highlanders. They gave the Mustangs a fight. The Mustangs may have gone to sweep, but it really didn't feel like it.
It really didn't. That was a lot closer than I think a lot of people expected. And to see the Highlanders fight like that was really fun to see. You're right. Seeing a sweep like that absolutely did not feel like a sweep at all. It felt like a very close match. Easily could have gone 4 or 5 sets, I feel like, if a couple things had gone a different way. Give a lot of credit to the Highlanders. They came and they showed up and they played hard. Sheyenne needed that. That was important. They're going to need to clean up some mistakes going forward. I'm sure Newton's going to have a few words. And hopefully they're a little bit
sharper down the stretch.
A little bit sharper.
They got big games coming up here. They got Red River on the road next Tuesday, and then they got Devils Lake, Wabaton, and then West Fargo High at home to end the regular season, and that's got to be an exciting match too. So these next few games, these next 4 games are going to be huge for the Mustangs, and you need to be peaking at the right time with the postseason right around the corner.
Yeah, let's hope they clean it up. Let's hope they get the next 4 games under their belt and they hit the ground running when it comes playoff time.
Yeah, they're trying to push for that number 4 spot so they can get into the quarterfinal and avoid a play-in game.
Because boy, does Valley City feel like a team that you don't want to see again if you don't have to when it's on the line.
Yeah, especially in that play-in game. I mean, Valley State's probably going to be a play-in team, but they're definitely they could be a potential Cinderella.
They feel like a team that they're poised to pull an upset or two for sure. The way they played tonight, at least.
Yeah, I mean, taking the Mustangs, to 29 points there, that's got to be a confidence booster for the Valley City Highliners.
Absolutely, they can take away a lot of good things from this game and put those together. And I don't know, if I was a team in the East here, I wouldn't want to see them in a playing game. That's for sure.
Well, that's going to do it for tonight's broadcast. The Mustangs get the sweep over the Highliners. Mr. Salmon, we appreciate you having up here in the bleachers to call the game. That was an entertaining third set, and we're glad that you and Mr. Thomas and all the new students have joined Mustang Media this year to fill in some spots. We lost Jacob Fisher because he graduated and he's going to college now. Down at
where is he at?
Down at St. Louis,
okay.
I believe. Washington University and at St. Louis, I believe.
Yeah, what an excellent program. It's a pleasure to be a part of it. I watched it a little bit last year, saw everything that you guys did, and when the opportunity came to join up, there's no way I could turn it down. This is a first-rate program. To have this as a high school program and a high school club really is absolutely impressive. It's a pleasure to be a part of it.
It's important to fill the shoes because we also lost our main marketing guy, Connor Husted.
Yep.
To a lot of people that have contributed to Mustang Media the past 3 years. This has just been a very pleasurable experience, and I've been very fortunate to be a part of it. So this is hopefully we can continue this to keep running in years to come. So
I'm impressed constantly. Every time I come to a game, I'm impressed by how well all the students do. I mean, we'll put a student on a camera that never been on a camera before, and it's just like they've been doing it for years.
Absolutely.
It's really, really fun, and it's a pleasure to be a part of.
Don't forget to check out our social media pages, Mustang Nation, on Twitter/X now, of course, Facebook and Instagram, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell so you can get notifications on when we go live here on YouTube for these broadcasts. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. Mustangs get the sweep over the Highliners. They pick